Hey everyone, Ben from Living Survival, and today I have what I feel is the best headlamp that I have tested out or owned in 2016. Now many of you have asked, where did the Ben's best list go? I used to have a playlist and I put the best of the best in that playlist. However, I feel that all the products that I review are the best of the best. I get offered a ton of products every single month to review, and I don't do negative reviews. There's no point in doing it. I want my channel to be a place where you can go to find out what I like, what I use, and what I recommend to you for the outdoors and survival equipment. So going forward, I'm going to do a best of the year in several different categories. For example, flashlights, stoves, packs, and I'm going to pick out one product that I feel that I've used the most throughout the year or that I like best throughout the year. I'll be sure and tell you why I chose that product, as well as show you a few other products that I like as well that compare to that product. So what better month to do it in than the month of December, last month of the year, and also you can use these videos as a holiday gift guide. Again, all the products that I show on my channel are products that I use and are products that I recommend. So just because something is the best in my opinion may not make it the best in your opinion. Packs, for example. Packs fit people in different ways. People live in different parts of the country and even different parts of the world. So today we're going to talk about a fantastic headlamp from Olight. Now before we do that, I want to show you some of the other headlamps that I've been using. Some of the other headlamps that are also great in my opinion, but they don't quite have the full feature set that I found in the Olight. So one of the lightest headlamps that I own is this Black Diamond Ion. It's a fantastic headlamp in my opinion. Some people don't like the swipe technology that it has, where you swipe it to turn it on and off. I find that it doesn't bother me too much. It's fairly easy to do. It does sometimes take a couple swipes, so if that bothers you, then definitely it would probably bug you with this headlamp, but it is super small, super lightweight. It's got the red light on it, so it makes a great headlamp for being lightweight. Things that it doesn't have, however, are a 180-degree swivel. I really like that with my headlamps, where I can swivel it all the way up and all the way down. And of course, the touch technology can be kind of a pain. But for a lightweight headlamp, the Black Diamond Ion is a good choice. Staying with Black Diamond, I have this Black Diamond Spot headlamp. It's a headlamp I've used all throughout the year. It is a nice headlamp. It's very bright. It's got the mode button on the top, which I really like. Very easy to use, on and off. It does have the touch sensor on the side, which will allow you to switch between some of the LEDs. It does have a red light, so I like that. Different brightness levels, infinite brightness levels, so you can go all the way up to high and then all the way to low. Variable, I should say, instead of infinite. But it's a nice headlamp. You can lock it out. Again, it doesn't have the swivel up and down. And although it is light, it's not as light as the Ion, but it is well made. It's got sort of this rubberized coating on the outside, and the price is right on this headlamp as well. So a very nice headlamp, and I've enjoyed using it throughout the year. Another great headlamp from ThruNite is the TH20. Now I didn't review their larger headlamp. I just felt that it was too heavy on the head, and there's nothing worse to me than having something that you know is there on your head. When I wear a headlamp, I want to just forget about it and just have that light when I need it, because I don't usually take it on and off at camp. Once it gets dark, I put the headlamp on and I pretty much leave it on my head until it's time to go to bed. And if I'm hiking or something like that, I just don't want to feel it. So the advantages of the ThruNite are that it is fairly lightweight for what it is. It takes a AAA battery. You can also put a 14500 in it, so it is bright. It does have the variable brightness, so I like that. And it does have memory. That's something I forgot to mention that the other two from Black Diamond don't have, is the memory. The thing that's terrible about not having memory is generally I'll use it on its lowest brightness setting. So around the fire, for example, I'll either have the light off or I'll have it on its lowest setting. When I turn the light off and turn it back on, the Black Diamond lights like to go back to their brightest setting. And for me, that's just not very user-friendly. I want it to have memory. I want it to go back to its setting that I left it on, especially like if you're in your tent or your hammock, for example. You have it turned all the way down, you're reading or something, maybe you turn it off for a moment, you turn it back on. You don't want to have it come back on super bright. So I do like that of the ThruNite TH20. It does have that brightness. It does have the 180-degree swivel, where you can swivel it all the way down, you can swivel it all the way up. Then you can also remove it from the the housing here, which is kind of nice. You can use a web dominator on a pack, for example, and strap this right to the strap on your pack, giving yourself a little light, or you can use it as sort of a signaling beacon or something like that. So it is nice for that. It is comfortable on the head, and I've enjoyed using it throughout the year. This is hands down my favorite headlamp of the year. It is the most expensive out of the ones that I previously have reviewed on the channel this year. $45 gets you the light and a battery. $30 for the TH20 by Through Night, and $30 as well for the Black Diamond. So not that much more, and I think you are getting that much more worth of features out of the Olight H1. First of all, it comes with this great case. Now, many of you may just store it in your case and throw it down in the pack, in your bug out bag, survival kit, get home bag in your car, maybe glove box to your car, hiking kit, whatever types of kits you have. It is nice that it comes with this sturdy case that you could just throw it down in there. You could, of course, load it up with several other batteries and throw it in there as well. When you unzip the case here, you get the headlamp itself, which we'll look at in a moment. You get a pocket clip, which is pretty cool. You can pull this whole mounting for the pocket clip. It's just basically packaging. You can pull that right out. And then you got your instruction booklets. Again, we don't really need these. We can pull these out. And what this case would be good for then is a small kit. You could load this up with different items. I'll probably load it up with different batteries. I plan on just throwing this right in my pack. It's very durable. I probably wouldn't take the case with me when I went hiking, but what I can use this case for is batteries and other things like that I do want to keep protected. It makes a great case for that, so it's a little bit of a bonus whether you use it with the light or not. So let's talk about the H1 Nova. As you can see, it is fantastically small in size. It's the lightest weight, believe it or not, out of the Black Diamond and the Through Night, coming in at 68 grams as opposed to 94 grams with the Black Diamond and 108 grams with the Through Night. That is including the battery. So it's very lightweight. It disappears on your head as far as weight goes. I do like the fact that it swivels 180 degrees just like the Through Night. So you can put it all the way up. You can put it all the way down, which is fantastic. It's sort of got this rubber housing, just very similar to the Through Night. So it's very comfortable on your head, very comfortable headband, which is pretty standard for all the headlamps that I have anyway. This maxes out at 500 lumens. The only one brighter is the Through Night, goes up to 520 lumens. Pretty much the same there. Now, another thing that I really like about this light is you can get it in neutral white and cool white. They sent me the cool white. I'm going to buy the neutral white because I'm a neutral white fan lately. But you can get it either way, which is something that Olight has started to do in some of their lights, something that Through Night has done for a while. So I'm glad to see that Olight is doing that. Very simple to use. You have the side button here to just turn it on and off. You've got 3 different brightness levels, and then you have a moonlight mode, and you also have a SOS mode. It's nice that they didn't give it strobe. There's no need to have strobe on a headlamp, in my opinion. It takes a CR123, so you can, of course, put a rechargeable CR123 in there. So overall, I love it. I love the form factor of it. I love that it's something that you can swivel up and down. I like that you can get the 2 different color temperatures. I like that it has memory. So when you turn it on, if we turn it down to one of the lower levels here, we can turn it off and it's going to come right back on to that lower level. So fantastic in that respect. You can also pull it out of the band here, just like you can with the Through Night, and then it becomes a little EDC light. So that's where your pocket clip comes into play. You can just snap your pocket clip right on there and it becomes a small little EDC light. Another feature of the H1 Nova is that it is magnetic, so it will stick to things. You notice that the light is sort of a right angle light, so you could stick it on the side of your car, for example, or any metal on your car and have a light for changing a tire or something like that. So it works great as an emergency light as well. Again, 3 modes, very simple operation. You just press the button to turn it on and off. Very simple. Again, it's going to have the memory, so it's going to go back to the brightness that you last left it on. And then just like any other Olight flashlight, you hold down the button to change through your modes. So we have our low, medium, high, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Again, it's going to scroll through those brightness levels. Now you also have a moonlight mode, which you can access by holding the button down when it is off. That's a low 2 lumen mode. That's going to run for 15 days. And then you have your low mode, which is 15 lumens. That'll run for 42 hours. Then we have our 60 lumen mode, which will run for 8.5 hours. Then we have our high, which is our 180 lumens, which will run for 3 hours. And then to get to your turbo, you simply double click. That puts it into its brightest mode, which is 500 lumens. Now keep in mind it's only going to stay there for, I believe, 3 minutes and then dim back down to the 180. It also has the new dimming feature that the new Olights have, which when you turn the light off, it'll actually just dim off or fade off, which is nice. They say it helps with your eyes and things like that. Again, when you turn it on, it's also going to dim up to the brightness. So you really can't ask for more features out of a headlamp. I guess the only thing that this lacks is a red light, but I have a hunting specific light that I use for when I go hunting, and that's the only time I'm going to use a red light. Otherwise, I'm just going to use that moonlight mode for in my hammock when I'm reading, around camp and things like that. Mode spacing, I think it's perfect on this light. You got your 2 lumen moonlight, then you got a 15, a 60, a 180, and a 500. Some of the other headlamps go from like 200, then they drop down to like 20. They don't have anything in between. So the variable lights are nice with the through night and with the black diamond that you can use the variable brightness. However, I generally only use the brightest or I use the lowest. So having to switch through the modes on this and having it have memory is perfectly fine for me. And again, just the size of this, the form factor, the weight of it, it's just all perfect in my opinion. It's also got a lockout mode, so you can hold the button down and it's going to flash. Turn the moonlight on and turn it off, and then you're locked out, so that anytime you hit the button, it's just going to flash. It's not going to allow it to turn on. So if you're going to shove this in your pack like I tended to, which I'm going to do without the carrying case, the lockout mode is going to work great for that. And then you just hold it down again until it blinks again, and then you're out of your lockout mode. So it is a rainy night out, but I wanted to get some night shots, and that is one of the great features of the H1 is that it is IPX8 waterproof, so it can certainly handle getting wet, and it can handle being submerged, unlike several other headlamps I own. So that is a nice feature. Don't have to worry about it getting wet at all. I am on the low mode, which is 15 lumens, and I can see just fine. This mode's going to run for 42 hours, so it's going to be a good mode to have on around camp and know that you're going to have enough battery for several days. If we need it brighter, we of course hold down the mode button and you will jump up to the brighter mode of 60 lumens. This is a great all-around lumen mode. We can see around us, not just in front of us. Another great mode for camp when you need something a little brighter, and this is going to run for 8.5 hours. So pretty decent run time. And then we can bump it up to the high, which is plenty. That's 180 lumens. That's going to run for 3 hours. So again, plenty of lumens. And shine it off into the woods. We can walk into the woods here and give ourselves a little bit extra light. Make sure we're not going to trip over things like that. Then of course there is the turbo, which you double click from any mode. I'm going to cycle it back down to our low here, and then I'll double click, and that is our turbo mode. Very floody beam, but really that's pretty perfect for a headlamp. And that of course is the 500 lumens, which I believe will only run for several minutes, and then it'll step back down to the 180. But plenty of light around camp on the turbo mode. We can step back down again to our low. Now when you're on your regular modes, it's going to cycle through low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Only way to get to that turbo is to double click. Now if we turn the light off and we hold the button down, you also have a very low moonlight mode. You can also triple click for a SOS mode. Again, I like that it has that mode. You could use it for an emergency, for signaling. So it's nice that it has that as well. Now I have an RCR 123A in here. Now it isn't rechargeable right on the light, but that doesn't bother me. I can take a backup battery, a backup CR123. And then Olight also makes another fantastic product. This is something that you want to pick up regardless of if you're going to pick up one of these headlamps or any other light that I've shown this year. This is a very small USB charger for your batteries. Now this thing can charge your AA's, your AAA's, your 10440s, your 14500s, 18650s, 16340s, and your 26650, the big lights. So for me, the majority of lights I use are the AAA and AA from Eneloop, the Eneloop Pros. Then I use 18650s. I use the CR123s. So having a very small, the smallest I've ever seen, charger, USB charger for that, for those style batteries, something that you can again throw into your kits, throw into your packs. It just is a perfect complement to something like this headlamp or any other flashlight that I've shown this year that isn't directly USB rechargeable. So this little thing is sweet. You simply just plug it into any USB source. You're going to get a little red indicator there on the USB side of things, and then you can take the other side here. It doesn't matter which side you use, but we can clip this right onto our battery, and then we are charging. Now it's not a cradle, so it could come off very easily, but just having this tiny little thing that I can take backpacking, I can take hiking and camping, it is fantastic that it will charge all the different batteries. So if I don't want to charge the RCR123, I want to charge an 18650, same thing. We can just pop this on one end, pop this on the other end, and we are charging. The light's going to turn green, which it already is green because this is a fully charged battery. Fantastic setup, fantastic way to charge your batteries on the go. This is about the smallest, if not the smallest, way to recharge any batteries that I've ever seen. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, taking a look at the Olight H1 Nova, my favorite headlamp of 2016. I think you can see why it hits all the marks that I'm looking for in a headlamp. Very comfortable, very, very multi-purpose as far as what it can do. That charger is sweet too. So obviously I'm going to leave a link below for the headlamp and for the charger. If you want to check out some of the other products that I showed in this video as well, I do have videos on those, so you can go back and check those out. Coming in December, again, I'm going to do several different categories just like this one and pick out one favorite item of 2016, but I will show you some of the runners-up, and they all make fantastic products. If you see them on my channel, it means I recommend them, it means I use them, and it means that I think they're a great product to have. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you share this video to your friends and family who might be interested on your social media. It makes a great holiday gift item, as with any item that I've shown on the channel. I hope you guys leave me a comment below. I'm also going to put a few recent videos right here where you guys can go back and check those out. And if you haven't done so, and for more best of 2016, make sure you click on my head right here and subscribe for more videos.